on your faces, you guys are wondering, why didn't I screw down the top? Well, let's take it off so I can show you. Sit that over here. Alright, well, there is a lot of dead space in here, and I have a lot of rock wool left. So, we're gonna put it in there! Yeah, baby! Here we go. Alrighty then! Now that we got the wheel well box built, we can start on the wall right behind it. Now, what I'm gonna do is put plywood along the bottom section, kind of where the bed's gonna go, because no one's gonna really see that. Except since I just told you that, now you're gonna be looking, oh no! But we're gonna be doing that so we can go ahead and put the bed on. Now, in order to do that though, we've got to figure out all kinds of different angles because the wall is kind of curvy. So we got some figuring to do how to get that wall up. Here we go. Alrighty, here we are. So first thing I did was put a board there for inspiration because I believe the wall will be there. I can feel it. But that didn't help much. So what I did was start measuring. Now, if you look at this section right here, it juts out about 2 5/8 inches from the wall. The rest does not. So what I'm going to do is, where this board is, against the wall right here, we're gonna build out 2 5/8 inches, and we're gonna do that here, maybe one here, and one at the end of the wall. So we have kind of a uniform little section right here that's hopefully gonna be all level and good and easy to work with. Then we can actually put that piece of the wall in, that section anyway. Up here on the other hand, that's gonna get a little bit more tricky. However, we're gonna start with the base and we're gonna go from there. So we're gonna cut those boards, put them in a couple places, and then we're gonna see if it's any kind of level and if it looks good. So we're gonna give that a shot and see what happens. Here we go. Puppies up, what we're gonna do is cut out the plywood and then see how she fits. If she fits halfway decent, which she will because I'm an amazing carpenter, I'm part beaver, baby. We're gonna go ahead and stain her and then polyurethane her, let her sit overnight. Then what we're gonna do is put glue behind these gaps that you can't see to make the wall extra secure because we don't want it falling down on us. Here we go, yeah! Of how to stain stuff from my vast experience watching YouTube channels. And now you're watching mine, this is great. So let me show you what you're gonna need. You're gonna need paper towels and or rags, the wood itself. This is AB plywood, oak. It's very expensive, don't mess up the cut, otherwise you're gonna hate yourself. This is why you saw me measure about 100 times. Next, what we're gonna need is a palm sander with 120 grit and 220 grit because a palm sander makes a big difference on a large job like this. Feel free to hand sand it. You're gonna be here all night. Next, very expensive brushes. I got 3, one for each thing we're gonna use. Okay, yeah, so these are natural bristle I labeled the ends so I didn't mix them up. Stir sticks. You don't want bubbles in these, so don't shake them. Stir them. Now, the three things we got: Prestain, stain, and polyurethane. Do the Prestain first. That is so, like if you have wood like pine or something like that, which I do. I've got a lot of pine tongue and groove that we're putting in the van. This is so we can just smooth finish. With pine, it kind of pits a lot and kind of splotchy. We don't want that. We want a smooth, nice, pretty finish. Next, the stain itself. Picking the stain color is the hardest part. I went with this stuff called Golden Pecan. So hopefully it turns out the color I like, and we'll go with that. Next up, polyurethane. This is to seal it up, make it watertight, last forever. I went with semi-gloss. There are three types of polyurethane. You can get satin, semi-gloss, and glossy. I went with the middle because, I don't know, I just couldn't pick. So, we're gonna go with that. We're gonna do this, and we'll let it sit overnight, and then we're good, baby. So, let's get started. Yeah! We got her all stained in polyurethane, and look how pretty she looks. Which brings me to a point that I decided to make. I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way up the wall because how pretty it is, and rather than doing the pine tongue and groove that I originally had planned. So, in order to do that though, we're going to have to cut it and hide the seam. In order to do that, we got to build the bed. So, we're going to get sidetracked and build the bed a little bit. What we got to do is put that secure board against the back, and I think I'm going to hide the seam behind it. So unfortunately, I actually have to cut some of that down. But I can probably make shelves out of it or something like that. So it's not going to be wasted. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the bed. And here is our time lapse. Woo! Well, actually, before we start the time lapse though, we had to do some graphic design. And because I'm super good at it, here it is. Okay, so this is what we're going to be building. Here we go! Something cool happened behind here. You see, behind the wall is a lot of dead space. We don't like that space. So I'm going to fill it in with more rock wool insulation. Because, again, don't like wasted space. But I determined that there's something I have to do behind there before I can actually put the rock wool in. Which is very awesome. Because I'm going to put my first big piece of equipment in, which is my freaking safe. Keeping stuff secure, baby. Woo! So all we got to do, put this support in because it'd be kind of hard to screw stuff in there. And then we can put in my safe. Here we go! Yeah, baby! bad news. The good news is these things are super smooth. The bad news is they're not going to work for what I intended. The reason? This is not including the bed or the ceiling coming down. So, not going to work. So, I'm going to have to run and get some 1x1s. I'm going to sand those, and then we're back on track. Here we go. All right, we're back on track. I got these 1x1s, cut them to size, and sanded them down super smooth because they need to be able to move. Now, we're going to be starting part of the faceplate. The first part is the stopper. So, I'm going to be taking a 2x4, putting it right here, so when I pull the bed out, this part is going to stop right here at 18 inches. So this part is going to be stopped at 36 inches, which is the size of a regular twin bed that I can actually fit in here. So, we're going to go ahead, put the first part of the faceplate in. Here we go. Alright, now that we got the faceplate started, we're going to add the secure bar going from here to here and here to here. The secure bar is the other piece that the slat's attached to, and it goes every other one attaching from the secure bar to the movable slider part. So, we're going to go ahead and put in the secure bar right now. Here we go! Secure bar done, what we gotta do is finish off the faceplate with this movable section. Really easy, all we gotta do is add some feet to it, and this piece is done. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Here we go. Now that we got all our pieces except for the slats, we're going to go ahead and stain them and then let them dry overnight. I mean today. And then we're going to pick it up in the morning. Here we go. Now that these are all stained and we let them sit overnight, we're going to go ahead and secure this board and then measure out the slats and get them cut. Here we go. those dry, we're going to work on something else. Now this pull-out section here, even though the underside is really smooth because I sanded the crap out of it, it still might scratch up the hardwood floor, and we don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is take some carpet and just glue it to the undersides of these. Now I just got to find some carpet. We got the slider bed pretty much together. The last thing we got to do, got these brackets right here. For extra support for this section right here, we're just going to place this right here just to make sure this doesn't bend and break. So last thing we got to do, and then we're going to test her out. Here we go. Okay, well that was a lot of work, so I'm going to take a nap. Next step, we actually are going to start on the walls. Here we go.